Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it all.
So welcome to the show, everyone. As all of you know, I made it possible for people, I'll get it out, for people to talk about themselves. And who doesn't like to do that on the radio? I always say this, if you're interested in getting on my show and you want to get yourself heard on Networking Arizona, just go ahead and call the station here at 602-277-5369. We'll get you connected with me, and I'll get you on Networking Arizona. I'm going to go in with my first guest, who is Ted Watkins. Ted has been on my show many, many, many years. And you know what, though, Ted, you come on for a reason a lot. There's a lot of different reasons. You are an enrolled agent doing this since 1978. I want you to talk a little bit about yourself. But more than anything, you've been able to help a lot of people out there. And people in the radio world need to know that there's so many people that come on all the time, that listen, to the radio, different people that are listening at different times. And you're able to help people out there that might get themselves in trouble or would like to have an enrolled agent do your taxes.
You bet. It's great to be back, Carol. I always enjoy doing the show with you. And as Carol said, I'm, if you haven't heard me before, I'm what's called an enrolled agent before IRS. And a lot of you may not have heard about that because there's only about 48,000 or so of us in the whole United States. But we're licensed by the federal government, by the Department of Treasury, with IRS as part of that. And we've actually been around quite a long time. President Abraham Lincoln started us back in the Civil War. But most enrolled agents, of course, we do taxes. I do a lot of regular individual taxes and small business taxes. But I also, particularly outside the tax season, I help a lot of people with IRS tax issues and also State of Arizona Department of Revenue. And I get a lot of satisfaction from that, helping people out, because the IRS is the world's most powerful and nastiest collection agency. Yeah. So they have a lot of power, and they can make your life very miserable, your financial life, which impacts your personal life and your married life and so forth.
Right. And, even though you have been coming on for so many years, there's always somebody out there that's listening that will call you and say, I need your help.
You bet. You bet.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. And so there's a couple areas where I can help you out. First of all, I'll take a look at your last 3 years' tax returns for free. And if there's any changes or errors or things that have been left out, I might be able to help you save quite a bit of tax by filing an amended return. Now, unfortunately, IRS only lets you go back 3 years, so you can only amend the 2013, 14, and 15 tax returns right now. So I'll take a look at those, again, like at no cost to you, and then if it looks like I can save you enough tax dollars, then I'll recommend that you would file an amended tax return. And then another area where I can help you, I think, a lot is I have a pretty nice, what we call a tax organizer.
We love that.
Or a tax questionnaire. And it's 15 pages long, but you don't have to be intimidated because it's kind of a one-size-fits-all. So if you own a small business or own rental real estate or if you've sold stock, it covers all those different areas, but you really only have to go through it and look at the areas that apply to you. And that's on my website, which is tedwatkinsea.com. And if you go on the home page on the left side, there's a little icon. It says Tax Center, and you click on that, and it puts you down to, it says, I believe, Free Tax Organizer or something like that.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to give it away.
Right.
I like doing that. There's a lot of stuff that you like to give away. And he does want to reach out and help as many people as he can. So we're going to open up the lines of the audience. He's here live with us today. And we're going to open up the lines for the audience for everyone to get entered in to win either a business or personal tax return. So whether you have not done your taxes in a while, he wants to help you. He'll do something for free on that. Also, if you have, he's going to enter you in to win a personal business for this coming next year. And it's coming around the corner. It happened so fast. Can you believe it's September already?
That's right.
So we're going to enter everyone in to win that. We're also going to give the tax organizer, as well as he wants to give you a Starbucks card or a Walmart card as well. He likes to give out things to people. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100.
Also, well, you might wonder why I come on in September, too.
Yeah. Why do you come on in September?
Why do I come on in September? Because I like doing radio. That's why.
Well, you do. You absolutely do.
But anyway, a more appropriate reason is because we have two sets of extensions that are coming up right now. Actually, if you have a small corporation or an LLC, if you want it on extension, your extension expires next Thursday, the 15th. So we're down to the wire on that one. But if you file just an individual return, we still have until October 15th if you went on an extension on that. So I still have plenty of room and time to do individual extensions. For small businesses, it's pretty tight right now unless you're really got all of your records organized nicely on QuickBooks or something like that.
Well, what we're going to do, you do free consultations with everyone always. Your phone number is area code 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. He's been doing this since 1978. He has two locations in the Valley. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. And his website is tedwatkinsea.com. And we've got our lines open here, and we're going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. I always let people do that so that you can call in and get entered in to win the tax organizer, a business or personal tax return. That's a $350 value practically or more, depending on what your taxes are, to you or anyone you know. He wants to help everyone out there. He's also going to give you a free Starbucks card and a Walmart card. You can't lose. You got to give us a call here at 602-277-5369 and toll free, because he can help anyone in the entire United States of America. So toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I kind of forgot to mention that because I am licensed by the federal government, I can help you in all 50 states and also those territories and possessions we still have. So it doesn't matter where you're at. You don't have to be in Arizona. I have helped people in about 23 different states. So
do you want to tell them really quickly before we go to a break about what it is to actually work with you if they were going to get power of attorney and all that? Because you make it unbelievably affordable for everybody.
Right, you're right. So the only upfront fee that I charge is $175, and that's to file a power of attorney with the IRS. But I'll also get, if you owe back taxes, I'll get a written transcript which breaks it down by year, how much you owe in penalties and interest, and it shows your withholdings and all that. And also, if you haven't filed in a while, I can get all of the income information like W-2s, 1099s, interest and dividends that the IRS has on the master computer. So, and then if you decide to hire me, I would be happy to work with you. But even if you don't decide to hire me, all you're out is the $175, and you'll know exactly where you stand. And that means a lot, because a lot of people that I meet with don't even know what they owe. They don't know the last time they filed. They don't know if their tax returns have been received, et cetera, et cetera.
They put their head in the sands, and you can't do that. Our lines are open here, and everyone's getting entered in to win a business or personal tax return, the tax organizer, a Walmart card, or a Starbucks card. He does free consultations. Our lines are open here. Call in here and get entered in to win. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. So we're back, and we're talking with Ted Watkins. He is an enrolled agent since 1978, and he helps lots of people. We get in their calls, and the caller has asked us to repeat your website so they can hear it. So here it is. Ted Watkins, which is WATKINS. And then it's EA for an enrolled agent.
.com. That's
.com. So we can say it together. Yay.
Yay.
So, okay, so that's what it is. It's Ted Watkins, EA. .com, and that's for enrolled agent. Now, our lines are open here. Everyone's getting entered in to win a tax organizer, the business or personal tax return that is either if somebody hasn't had it done or it's going to have a new one done, he's going to put you in for an entry for that. And he's also going to give you a Starbucks card, a Walmart card. He does free consultations. He's all about helping everyone. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You had some more stories that you wanted to talk about. Let's do some, well, at least one before we go. It goes by so fast.
Okay, sure. So, well, one thing is you might wonder why you should use an enrolled agent. And probably there's two good reasons, at least, why you should use me. First of all, my fees are very reasonable. I'm usually at or below the major franchises like H&R Block, Liberty, and Jackson Hewitt. But also, I'll give you a real-world example that just happened a couple weeks ago. And this was a lady who had actually called me. She was a listener to the show for quite a long time. And she had been a long time do-it-yourselfer using TurboTax. And I'm sure there's probably a lot of you out there that use TurboTax. But what she did on her 2015 return, she had prepared it and she had forgotten to claim herself as an exemption. And on TurboTax, you have to have a little checkbox where you check to claim yourself as an exemption. So she electronically filed the return, and the IRS sent her, she was expecting a $2,000 refund approximately, and instead she got a bill for almost $1,500. So
that's what happened
understandably, she wasn't
that
very
would happen to me.
Yeah, understandably, she wasn't very happy. So what had happened is that when you electronically file a return, once you press that button, it's gone. You can't change it. So whether you do it yourself or you file it through me, it's once it's electronically filed, it's gone. So the only way to change an electronically filed return is to file an amended return. And so that's what I did for her. We filed an amended return, and unfortunately, amended returns take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to process. So she'll be waiting for her refund for quite some time. And true, she saved the tax preparation fee initially, but she's cost herself, she's going to have to wait 6 months probably for a $2,000 refund. And I had to charge her a fee too, because for me to do an amended return is actually more work if it's done correctly than to do a regular return.
Well, tell everybody how it is to, because when you hear enrolled agent, you hear cha-ching. You hear that.
Right.
And it's not necessarily so. So go ahead, tell them a little bit about your fees.
No, it's not. And like I said before, most of the time my fees are either comparable or less than the major franchises. And in most cases, they're well below what a CPA will charge you. And I've been doing this from 1978, and I've done all different types of returns, so I feel I'm confident to prepare just about any type of tax return out there. So it's not going to cost you a fortune to use me. And like I said, if you have tax issues, most of the major companies that do what we call tax resolution or tax representation work charge anywhere from $4,000 at a low, and I've heard as high as $18,000 for some of the companies out in L.A.
Here's what I love about him. He has a sharp pencil, and that is very important. For your accountant to have a sharp pencil.
That's for sure. We'll get you every legal deduction you're entitled to. And that's another good thing about my organizer is that it'll get you, it'll trigger your memory or your mind to deduct things you may not have ever thought about. So it'll pick up just about every legal tax deduction that you're entitled to if you go through it.
Tell everybody a little bit about how you can go back for 3 years for free for them.
Okay, so if you bring your 2013, 14, and 15 return in, I'll take a look at for you at no cost, and I will, if it's done properly, I'll tell you that, and hopefully you'll do your 2016 return with me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But if it's, if there's some things that are missing or that are not done correctly, then we can do an amended tax return for you. And you'll hopefully get some more tax dollars back. Unfortunately, like I said earlier, they do take 3 to 6 months now because the IRS has kind of put them on the back burner.
He has 2 locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His website is tedwatkinsea.com. His phone number is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. And he does free consultations with everyone. He's going to go back for 3 years for you for free if you need it that way. Also, he's going to give you the tax organizer. You're going to call in here. We're going to get everyone that because I think everyone should have one of those no matter what. Also, he's going to give you a Walmart card and a Starbucks card. And the number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free for everybody that he can work from across the United States at toll free 866-536-1100. So call in and get entered in to win. What another story before we have to go?
Okay, yeah, I've got another short one.
Sure.
This was another listener to the show, and he listened for quite a few times before he gave me a call.
That's the other thing you want to say. There's a lot of people out there that listen for a long time, and they finally say, I better call.
Yeah, this guy had listened to me for about 6 months or so. But anyway, he hadn't filed for quite a few years, and he was getting kind of paranoid that the IRS, he just gotten a new job, they were going to come and do a levy on his wages or a levy on his bank account, which they can do. And so anyway, he did finally come in. I met with him once, and I told him what we could do for him, and he said, well, I'll have to think about it. So he called me back about, I'd say 2 weeks after that. And so we went ahead and did the power of attorney, and we found out that he wasn't in such bad shape as he thought. He hadn't filed since 2009, so he had 6 years of tax returns to do, but the IRS wasn't chasing him, and he had filed everything to 2000.
He thought he was getting away with it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So anyway, he had filed everything through 2009, and he didn't know anything. Actually, he had paid everything up to date. But they were starting to get ready to send him notices asking about these returns, and they're kind of slow about that. But anyway, we're going to do all of his returns and catch him up to date. I've already finished his 2010 return, and he only owes a couple $100 on that. So it may turn out that he owes very little, and he'll get an automatic payment agreement to pay if he can't pay it off all at once.
See, so there's a lot of things. The reason why you need to talk to him, he does a free consultation. Find out where you stand. You may not realize that you don't owe as much money as you think. It might not be as bad. And having someone like Ted Watkins, an enrolled agent, be doing your taxes, I don't care if you're in trouble or not, it's fantastic. How's that?
That sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So what else should we talk about before we go?
Okay. Well, one thing that I run up across a lot is that people are really, really paranoid about IRS for some reason. But actually, in the since the economic meltdown or recession or whatever you want to call it, they've become a lot more lenient.
Nightmare.
And working with people. And as long as you tell them that, hey, we're working on getting your tax returns up to date, usually they'll hold off issuing any levies against your bank account or your wages. So all they want you to do is get your tax returns filed up to date through 2015, and then they're pretty good about we can negotiate a payment agreement with them, and they'll give you now up to 72 months to pay off your taxes. Also, if you're having economic problems, they'll put you in what they call currently not collectible status. And what that means is that you don't have to make a monthly payment to them. Now, unfortunately, your taxes don't go away. So they have 10 years to collect from the time that the tax return is filed. But if you're only working part-time or you're not working at all, if you've got some maybe medical issues.
Well, when you don't pay for your taxes, that's got to be huge on your credit report.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
it must affect it.
It affects.
2 minutes.
Eventually, is they'll file a federal tax lien, and that does impact your credit report pretty negatively.
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
So it's really good to, if you're in a situation, give him a call. He does free consultations for everyone. He has 2 locations. One is in North Scottsdale. The other one is in North Phoenix. His website is Ted Watkins, EA for an enrolled agent.com. His phone number direct is 602-363-1952 or 480-707-7670. We've got everyone getting entered in to win a 2015 or 16 business or personal tax return. That's at least a $300, $400 value free to you. The tax organizer, which I think everyone should have, and also the Walmart card or a Starbucks card. Ted wants to work with everyone. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. What are your final words today?
Okay, well, the main thing I would say is don't procrastinate and don't hide your head in the sand. And it's because we can work through the problems in most cases. I mean, there's several alternatives that I can help you with. You can even, in some cases, if you can bankrupt taxes out. Most people don't know that, but if the tax is older than 3 years old, if it's large enough and you have some other bills you may want to get rid of, you can discharge them in bankruptcy.
One thing about Ted, he's been doing this since 1978. He's got a ton of experience behind him. He's got a sharp pencil. He is always wanting to help everyone out here and all across the nation. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Call in, get entered and win. I'm going to give you the rest of the show and get yourself done and your taxes done by an enrolled agent. I can't talk now.